There we go. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Dugout Football Channel. Yeah, um, I never imagined that I would um, wake up today and think that last night was just a dream. Never did I imagine that we would win last night against Spain. I never ever imagined that at all. But it felt good. It felt good to beat someone big, and of course the sort of the ex World Cup champions, of course. So yeah, definitely. As you can obviously tell, I am a little bit choked up. I am waiting on Reece. I don't know where he's gone, but he will be here. So big up everyone who's watching. Please do smash the like and also do hit that subscribe button because I did actually notice that on one of my previous videos, 92% actually watched one of my videos and weren't subscribed. So hit that subscribe button. Let's get us to 2.4K ASAP. Absolutely. Let's to people. Devils United, Maisie's in the hello. Hope you're good. I'm still absolutely gassed from last night. Wearing my Scotland kit today at work in celebration. Yeah, as you should, because it was an amazing result last night. Absolutely amazing result. Just waiting on Reece. Nipping in the building. Hello, Nipping. Up, you're good. Big up, he says as well. Mr. B for Life, Douglas. Hey, Douglas, awesome win, fella. Although Spain aren't the force, they were still a notable victory. Yeah, 100%. You know, that wasn't the strongest Spain side I've ever seen. Um, and there was a lot of people actually saying that, yes, it wasn't a very strong Spain side, but we were the better team last night. And obviously, we obviously had the server grapes um, as well from obviously Spain. Congratulations on the win. Thank you. John Comey says, well done, Scotland. John Henderson. Yep, absolutely. Hey, Nipoon says, Mr. B for life. Big up Douglas says, John Conley. John Purchell is on. Hello. Good evening, Douglas. Come on, Scotland. Absolutely. Reece Mctominay is a shadow striker. Yeah. Big up Douglas. Congratulations on Scotland on their big win. And rest in peace, Paul O'Grady. Yes. I woke to that news this morning and I was like, "No, you're kidding." Um, Turned on the news and there it was, Paul O'Grady. Only 67 he was as well. He's just in Edinburgh just last week as well. Was Paul O'Grady. So definitely. Time to top the group now. Yeah, 100%. We're in a fantastic position. We're in a fantastic position, and obviously in tonight's video we will be speaking about obviously the Spain game. We'll be speaking about the Cyprus game. We'll also be speaking about Scott McTominay, Angus Gunn, and we'll also be speaking about the games ahead as well in June. So it should be very, very interesting. Roger, your boys took one hell of a beating, cry more. Could have been 4 or 5. No, we finished some chances. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Hi, Connor, what win? Absolutely. Hey, Niall. Jordan Purchell, absolutely. Cheers, Niall. I'm buzzing. Paul O'Grady legend only found this morning. I know he passed away yesterday. Yeah, he certainly did. Hey, John. Were Spain missing key players last night? That's the worst Spain I've ever seen. I don't know if it was a case of worst Spain side ever, but it wasn't very well known Spain side. Let me just say that it wasn't a very very well Spain side. But I do have to say that anyway. But yes, as I said, welcome to the Scotland Review Show, where we will be discussing the Cyprus win and the famous night of Spain. We're taken apart by Super Scots at Hampden Park. Yeah, and two big wins as well. So we'll speak about well. There's only one place to start, and that's Hampden Park. Never in my wildest dreams did I think we'd beat Spain. Um, I think going into the game, I had a feeling of you never know. You never know what's going to happen. I also had a feeling that as well, I didn't think the Spain side, it's not the same. I knew that Kepa was a bit, culpable as well. Because having a keeper like Kepa who's Balaga, right? Now, obviously, I've just obviously watched the game from last night. I was there last night. Every time a ball came into the box, Kepa looked really, really scared going for a ball. Now, I've seen this before for Chelsea, so it's nothing new with Kepa. And I think Scotland actually saw that as a weakness. I actually think they saw that as a weakness. But obviously, the starting 11, we will speak about the starting 11 shortly as well, because I do actually have a question to ask the chat. Do you think that lineup last night is Scotland's strongest lineup going forward? Because I've got to say, the last two games, yes, I know Stuart Armstrong started against Cyprus, and I know Scott Mctominay was on the bench. But when you think about it, that team last night was as good as anybody to beat Spain last night. It really, really was. Um, so that's a fantastic win. It is an absolutely fantastic win. And yes, I know, like Spain, like I heard today Spain are missing a lot of key players. Yes, I know they are missing a lot of key players, but I think there's a bit of arrogance. I've got to be honest. I thought there was a bit of arrogance from Luis Fuentes, um, because he made 9 changes yesterday. Now, I look at that game against Norway, and Spain were their same self. They were passing, flowing movement. Last night, their passing move was shocking. Now, I don't know if that's because of Spain changing their team almost. There was 9 changes yesterday, um, and a lot of sort of inexperienced. Excuse me, a lot of inexperienced players last night, and I mean Pedro Porro had an absolute nightmare at right back because he is culpable for the first goal. I don't know what he's trying to do. Robertson doesn't do anything wrong, and does very, very well. Slips it to McTominay, and I did actually think it was a Kepa mistake, but when you look at it again, it's actually gone off a defender. It's gone off a defender into the bottom corner, and I thought then we were the team that was in the ascendancy. Dyke should have scored. Dyke was put through 1-on-1. Andy Robertson, ball over the top. Spain couldn't deal with Lyndon Dykes all night. Plays the ball over the top. Dykes, all he has to do is either put it under Kepa or chip him. And he decided to chip him and it went over the bar. So, excuse me. So I look at that game last night and yes, it could have been 2-3-0. They had chances as well. Hosselu hit the crossbar. But apart from that chance that Hosselu had that hit the crossbar, and it was a fantastic save from Angus Gunn, I've got to say, who has been fantastic in these two games. I never thought we were very rarely threatened by Spain. Now, I think this is because of obviously Steve Clarke. I think it's also a case of the team is now gelling together. And you've got players there. Look, they may not be the best players on the planet. They may not be. But it's the togetherness of a team. It's the togetherness of the team. And look, that's one defeat in 19 games at Hampden Park. So it's a long, long time since we've been beaten by someone at Hampden. And, everyone says win your home games. We've won 50% of our home games now. We've got 2 left. We've got Georgia and then we've got Norway. If we were to win those next 2 games, that's 12 points out of a possible 12 at home. We're in a very good position. But we do know that we are Scotland. We don't do things the easy way. Let me just say that. But absolutely delighted last night. Absolutely delighted, and it was so good to be there. So good to be there. Let me see what some of you are saying anyway. Let me see what some of you are saying. Had a feeling Angus Gunn would be a good choice to put in between the 6 straight away. Scott is showing he needs to be up top for starting the back 3. Yes, absolutely. I think McTominay now, I think we've found a position for him. It's in that sort of attacking midfield role. I thought he was excellent last night. I thought he was excellent against Cyprus when he came on as well. But it's so good to see. Now, I shouldn't be complaining when it's a win. Yeah. It's also Steve Clark, and Jason Steele from Brighton as a keeper when he already is under Clark, Liam Kelly, etc. 32 years of age, though. I think Angus Gunn is our number one going forward. Um, I think he's been excellent, and I think Craig Gordon's retirement's coming. I think that's safe to say, because I've I know apart from obviously the slip on Saturday, Angus Gunn's been fantastic. Yes, I know he got booked for time wasting, but every player got booked for time wasting last night. Um, it's very the future is bright. The future is bright for Scotland. So, fact he's looking at Jason Steele. Look, I get that we need experienced players, but I'm not so sure about that one. I'm not surprised. I'm not Mr. B. I'm happy. Where was Simon? He's a better keeper. I don't know. I saw David Raya was on the bench last night. Excuse me, chat. I did see that David Raya was on the bench last night, but I didn't see anything about Unai Simon. So maybe he was injured. Maybe he was injured. Does really like he's needed. Rather stick with who we've got, especially with the games this break. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, don't need Jason Steele. Great win for Wales and England. Republic of Ireland. Unlucky France didn't look that good. Ireland did play well against France. It certainly did. No, McGregor shouldn't be starting. Interesting. Interesting. I think he had a poor game against Cyprus. Let me get that straight off the bat. He did have a poor game against Cyprus, but gives us something in the midfield that I think we've been kind of missing. Yes, we 100%. We have good quality. I think on paper we could beat Norway and Georgia. Players of Scotland, they turn off against the bigger teams and sometimes struggle against the lower sides. That's going to be interesting when we're away from home. That's going to be very, very interesting. We always seem to struggle at Georgia. Norway, I can't remember the last time we played Norway, to be honest with you. It's been a long, long time. Yeah, especially with the pitch being long, same with cheated and dive, smokescreen mute. Yes, exactly. That's why Mr. BM when we played Norway and Georgia in June. Love seeing the ref get pulled at half time after a shot. Oh, absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. Especially when Pedro Porro basically runs into Andy Robertson and goes down holding his face. Now, he wasn't the only one that did that. He wasn't the only one that did that. Hosselu screamed like a baby because he wasn't given a penalty. I've never seen someone give as much a tantrum in a football stadium as that. That was shocking from Hosselu. It absolutely was. But I thought Spain's passing all night was very shocking. Really, really poor. Um, Look, we knew they were gonna have the lion's share of possession. Look, let's be honest. But it's what you do with it. It's what you do with it. And I think we counter-attacked them really, really well. Might not be the most exciting football you watch, but I tell you something, Steve Clark has got these players playing. He certainly does. Andy Discussion said, Bugger Bro, Robo 3 assists in 2 games, captain fantastic. Yeah, 100%. The ref last night was from Switzerland. Interesting. Spurs, spots have turned Porro into a shit player. SC7, that's football. Hello, mate. The new Spanish coach is shit. It's too early to say. He is replacing Luis Enrique. Hi, Arpon, hope you're good. McTominay better for Scotland than United. Put Scotty in the two behind with a striker with McGinn and drop Christie into the pivot with Gilmore instead of McGregor. Right. Top gun and goal. Refs are always useless in these matches. Yeah, 100%. So, second half comes out. Much of the same. Much of the same. We were the team looking like on the ascendancy. Yes, Spain were going to have the lion's share of possession, but I look at that game last night, and from where I was sitting, obviously Spain made 2 substitutions at half time. Like Baldy came on, and Carvajal came on, and yeah, Carvajal gets his usual yellow card. We were all over them. Like, I couldn't believe how poor they were. They actually were Spain. And then obviously you've got like Gavi coming on. And even obviously being a Liverpool supporter, I was very, very surprised to see the name of Iago Aspas coming on for the second half. For people who don't know, Iago Aspas used to play for Liverpool. We did sign him from Celta Vigo in the Brendan Rodgers days. And what has to be described as he will be remembered for one corner against Chelsea. And the rest, they say, is history. Well, he did the exact same corner yesterday. It went to absolutely no one. But I've got to say, Hanley, Porteous, Tierney, Hickey, Robertson, that back five was fantastic last night. Absolutely fantastic. Hickey, I think we've now probably found a new position for Anne Hickey. It looks like it was right wing actually, right midfielder. But I'll tell you something. The way that they were all playing last night was fantastic. We deserved the second goal. We deserved the second goal. Tierney goes straight past Carvalho like he's no there. Plays it into the box. It's a very bad clearance from I can't remember. Was it David Garcia? I think his name was. Goes to Scott Mctominay, and McTominay does the rest. And I have to say, it's a fantastic finish from Scott McTominay. But he's got 4 goals in 2 games. 4 goals in 2 games. It's absolutely amazing. And the way that Scotland are playing at this moment in time, nobody will want to take on Steve Clarke's side. Nobody will want to take on Steve Clarke's side. I'm away back to Hampden Park on the 20th of June for the Georgia game. Really looking forward to it. And then obviously the next again game is obviously in November. Not being able to get tickets for the England game, which I'm a bit gutted about, but still be. But last night, Shankland comes on. If Shankland had been on a little bit earlier, I think, and this might be a bit controversial, but I think he might have got a goal. He looked lively last night. He looked really, really lively. Kenny McLean came on. I hope Kieran Tierney's okay because he did look pretty shattered at the end there. Liam Cooper comes on. Very, very good substitute. Very, very good substitute. And then Hickey, Callum Patterson, Nathan Patterson, sorry. Nathan Patterson comes on. This is the best Scotland side I can remember. I honestly, I think the only thing that worries me, we are a striker short. We are a striker short. We don't have a goal scorer. Well, obviously before these games, obviously Scott McTominay's now got 4 in 2 games, which was pretty mental stuff, I've got to be honest. But absolutely amazing last night, and the atmosphere at the end of the game was amazing. Absolutely amazing to be a part of. And obviously we all know the song from like Freed from Desire. Your defense is terrified. Obviously, Will Grigg. We all know that. But just being in that stadium yesterday, it was just a big, big bounce. A big, big bounce yesterday. And now we're believing again. Now we're actually believing that we can actually make the Euros again. And the thing is, I'm going to be honest here. I'm going to be honest here. Look at that. Look at those scenes last night. Look at those scenes last night. Here is the man indeed in question.
Hello, everyone.
Reece, how you doing?
I'm alright. How are you?
I'm well. Apart from being really, really badly choked up, I'm just speaking about the Spain game. What were your thoughts on it?
Surprised would probably be the
I think
nicest way to say it. Surprised, perhaps. I mean, I did say we weren't going to lose anyway, so at least that was right. But
did you think before the game? Did you think before the game that our best hope was probably a draw?
Oh yeah, just based on how we are, especially against bigger teams.
Yeah,
can go one way, can go the next. Yeah, I would say so. I think a draw would be best case scenario, but to get a win, well, That's all I'm gonna say.
I know. Against Spain, our first win over Spain in 40 years. Like, yeah, I mean, I said there was a little bit of arrogance from the Spain camp of making 9 changes yesterday. Did you think the same?
It was complete. It was arrogance for me. Like I don't know what the new Spanish coach sees compared, like when he thinks Norway compared to us, that he has to make 9 changes. Like
Mm,
Norway are a decent side, but 9 changes is a bit of a slap in the face. Like a
yeah,
bit of a slap in the face, and you know what? I'm saying this nicely to the Spanish. Fuck the lot of yous.
yeah,
Like fuck them all. Like literally, if that's their approach, if that's how they're going to treat us, then fine. Like, because I'm going to say this as well. When you look at that entire game, when you look at it from start to finish, the better team was Scotland, even though Spain had nearly 70% possession. Like the
yeah.
possession might be the Spanish, but the game was Scotland. Like Spain done nothing. Like the only thing Spain done of substance was the chance that they
Possibly,
actually had. Yeah, Oyarzabal's chance in the first half, literally after we had
yeah.
just scored. They had nothing else. They were shocking. So to hell with the Spanish. That's one of the reasons why at times I don't like them. Is they're arrogance thinking that they are superior just because they can pass a ball around. Like
Mm,
as in terms of like a respectful nation when it comes to football, they're one of the worst. Like they're one of the
yeah.
worst for that. So
I mean, the
I'm
one
buzzed
thing.
that we got them.
Oh, I'm absolutely buzzing that we got the victory, and deservedly so. It could
Hands
have been a
down.
lot more as well. Um, Scott McTominay, 4
Mm.
goals in 2 games. Do you think we found his best position now?
Took him long enough. Um, yeah, I think he's been our best player the past 2 games. To be honest, I think he has been in different circumstances of timing wise. I think he's been probably our best player. But yeah, like I think the fact that he's held firm in his position's really been key. We'll see how it goes for him. Like I'm hoping that he has to stay consistent.
Mm, yeah, 100%. Everyone's speaking. Ryan Christie should be playing elsewhere, not FC Bournemouth for his career. That's an interesting point. Josh, good evening, mate. I know you're a big Villa fan. John McGinn, biggest bargain of the century. Someone convinced me otherwise. Every time we see John McGinn play now for Scotland, he's a completely different player to the one at Aston Villa.
I mean, I think there's a reason for that. Villa just aren't good. Like, no offense to a Villa fan, but like you just aren't. Like, I don't think like I used to enjoy at times watching Villa play. Like they used to be like
Yeah,
progressive. They used to be very good at progressing the ball. They used to be aggressive. They used to be fun. At the minute, they're just not there. They've got a good coach though. They've got a very good coach, one that I respect, and I think they'll certainly get there. But when you look at how I would be okay with that. But when you look at how he plays for Scotland compared to Villa, I think we're like you can see that we're more progressive for him.
yeah,
So I think it's more or less the same, but I do like where they're going. At least, like, because I do rate Unai Emery the coach. I do rate Unai
yeah.
Emery. So we'll see how they fare. But
That
that's
that that
true.
is a good point. Villa
That's
third out
true.
in third in the Prem since United took over, if you will, off
That
numbers. But agree, McGinn shackled it. Yeah, 100%. He's not.
I think that's the thing. 100% is when you see him playing for us, like he looks so free in that
Yeah,
role, whether it be as an 8 or playing as a 10. In fact, he played as a right winger yesterday as well. We changed and went a traditional 3-4-3, and he played as a right winger. So you can see that. I
yeah,
think if he gets that freedom at Villa, he's got something there. I really do because he's excellent.
yeah, 100%. And
He's
you
very
know,
underrated just because he's Scottish. That's another thing as well. He's very
What did you
underrated.
think of the play acting from Spain?
I'd love to know what's going through Rodri's head that we were diving, play acting, and time wasting. I'd love to know how Rodri got that in his head, because I was
Yeah,
actually waiting for that question. I think both sides. I think, to be fair, I think both sides at times were a little bit guilty of going down a little bit,
mm.
but it was 100% the Spanish done it more. And I'm not saying that it was the Spanish more because I'm defending my country here. When you watch the game, every time Joselu got the ball, every time like Iago Aspas when he came on, every time Pedro Porro got the ball, every time they went down, it looked like they'd been shot, or
Yeah,
it looked like they'd been shot like so easily, and they went down. So I don't know where this whole narrative is coming that we were the worst for it. We weren't. Like, we were a very physical side, and I find it funny coming from Rodri, who is a brilliant player. Like, Rodri
yeah.
is amazing to watch. He cannot handle a physical team when he plays in the Premier League week in, week out. If that's the case, then you can just go and play the MLS, mate. Like,
Yeah.
if he cannot cope with a physical, aggressive side, even though he plays at club level against these sides, then he should just go and play in the MLS right now and retire from
Mm.
international football. Because it was laughable when he said that they did nothing wrong. Like he
Yeah.
literally said that Spain did nothing wrong. I was like, mate, what fucking game are you even playing?
And
Like,
the other thing that really made me laugh was the Sky article, is that they're blaming the long grass for the defeat.
I just can't. I just cannot. I just can't. This is what makes me even happier when I laughed watching Morocco beat Spain at the World Cup. I wasn't watching Luis Enrique getting beat. I was watching the Spanish team
Yeah.
because this lot need a humbling. The players, the fan base, they're arrogant little bastards. Like,
Mm.
I don't know where this narrative comes from, and I'd love for someone to seriously correct me. I really do. I would love for someone to just come on and correct me about if people seriously think the Spanish are a good. I'm actually going to pose this question right now, and I'm actually going to. And this is coming from somebody who I is born in Scotland, but he's also third German, third Italian, so I know poor results come. I'd love for someone to come at me right now and sit and defend the Spanish football team and tell me the Spanish are good.
It's
Well, I'm
not.
actually going
It's
to be
not the
nice.
best. It's not the. It's not
I'm
the
going to be
best
nice about
Spanish
it.
squad I've ever seen.
I'm timing it as well. I'm waiting to see if somebody will actually come at me saying Spain are good. Stopwatch is still going. I'm still waiting for someone to tell me that Spain are good, and
Even in
nobody's going to do
Statman,
it.
a great result for Scotland. It was a fantastic result. Spain are such hypocrites, as Mr. B. And then
100%.
Herbert, happy birthday to Chris. Yes, Chris, let's till I die. It is his birthday. He's not 72. There's no way he's 72. I think it's more.
I don't know. It could be.
I
You never know.
I don't
I
think he's
think
72. I think you're having us on there, Anthony. I've got to say. Rich, good evening, mate. Spain's shite. It's not a good bit of both. Scotland were very, very good. I've got to be honest. I think first half were a little bit edgy, but the second half, I think we kind of took control of the game. That's another thing I want to ask you, Reece. Spain's passing. It was all over the place last night.
I can't remember how many times they misplaced the ball or misplaced a pass. It was, I think, for the entire 90 minutes, I think we misplaced what 3 or 4 passes in 90 minutes, which
Yeah,
for a Scotland team is unreal that we can
yeah,
misplace a pass 3 or 4 times. The Spanish, what was it, like 7, 8 passes misplaced? It was
yeah.
it was really poor. Like, I've never seen the Spanish, even when they were like at their worst, like play that bad with the ball at their feet. So like it really did strike up like it really did strike me just how bad they are, because that was one of the first things that, apart from the fact that we beat them, that didn't stand out from yesterday's game was pass and over. The fact as well is the sheer difference in number of passes as well. That obviously we know we're going to get outpassed by the Spanish. I mean, that doesn't faze me at all. But when you look at how many passes were into the final third by us that were more effective, it completely trumps any amount of 300 passes that Spain had. Like, there was no direction for each pass like that they've got, if you know what I mean. Like, it was either out wide or into the centre, then back to defence, and then lump it forward. Like, it was so predictable. Like,
And the one thing we've been known about Spain's players is that they'll pass you to death. How many times did they cross the ball? Hanley, Cooper, Porteous, Hickey, Tierney, Robertson were clearing everything that came into the box.
It felt like, you know, the performance, the Man United performance that we always get mugged about, that we dumped in so many crosses, like the 80 cross game. It felt like that. It felt like Spain were playing like David Moyes' Man United when we lumped in 80 crosses into the box, and it was going nowhere. Like, it's the only time Spain are ever going to get compared to Man United in my lifetime. But that's exactly what they did. It was just dunk after dunk, 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 dunk. And I'm like, these guys must be playing fucking FIFA, because they're literally just running the box and pressing square. Well, here you go. Right, far side, square, lump across in. Oh, far post, Scotland header. Knock it off. Oh, left-hand side. Nice. Cross in. Lump it out. And I'm like, seriously, if you want to get at us, you've got to... It's funny as well, and I actually said this, if you remember. I said this on the last show fun enough we did. I said our best approach against the Spanish, and it's fun enough, it's exactly what happened, word for word. I said the best thing that we can do is just force the Spanish out wide, because they want to keep it in the middle, they want to keep it compact. And what happened? They were forced out wide and they couldn't cope. They couldn't cope. So, in fact, 20 points is slipping. I'll say that.
I mean, Wales did well. 1-0 against Latvia and then 1-1 against Croatia. Northern Ireland, beat San Marino, then lost to Finland. That's disappointing. Republic of Ireland, I thought, were very unlucky against France, and England's just been England, I'm afraid to say. Rich says Wales did very well. Big up Rich. Hi. He's 62 today. Sorry, my fingers slipped. And Almighty Blues is in. Oh, Ankit, hope you're good, my friend. Hope you're very, very well.
What's up, Ankit?
So, I did ask this question earlier in the chat. Now, I am going to go to the team that played last night. So, Gunn, Hickey, Porteous, Hanley, Tierney, Robertson, McGinn, McGregor, McTominay, Christie, and Dykes. Is this our strongest 11 when everyone is fit? Because for me, I think it is. I think, barring probably two players in that team, I would say 99%. I think this is probably our strongest side going forward.
I would say so. I mean, my only thing is, I would. Well, there are a few things I would definitely boot out, but
I mean, you've got to give it to Porteous and Hanley, who, like, I was very, very concerned about them against Spain, but they were magnificent.
Oh, they were magnificent. They were. The weird thing is, though, is for us, in terms of our best lineups, our strongest lineups, it still sucks that any of our top lineups we have is still going to stupidly involve Armstrong.
Yeah.
So we're already at a disadvantage anyway. We work hard with it. I would say those three certainly have helped Like show the squad up, and I do think we do play better football starting Dykes with Adams coming off the bench, even though Adams was in the squad because he was injured. I still say, and I stand by it, I still think we miss something like a Ryan Gauld in this team. Like we still lack without it. But I did like the starting lineup that started yesterday compared to the team that won against Cyprus. I think the team that started yesterday just had more to it. Even though we did play more of like central midfield players playing as wingers instead of number 10s, I quite like the fact that Clark went more bold, and to see John McGinn play as a right winger, it works. So like
it did.
But I don't think it'll always work. Like we have to be very careful of that one. But yeah, I certainly do think that was our best lineup. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. No, I have to say that lineup yesterday. I mean, I'm going to ask you another really, really interesting question. But is this the best Scotland team you've ever seen? I think it's right up there.
That's a good question. It's definitely in my top two. I still like, in terms of Scotland sides I've seen, the other one is definitely the team that just failed to qualify for Euro 2008. That's still one of the best lineups I've seen, like squad wise. But no, this one, like back to front, is perfect. In the sense of what we want to play, it fits the mold. Player for player, position wise, we've got what we need.
Yeah. And
it's definitely the best since that team, at least. It's definitely the best since that team.
And I do want to ask you about Angus Gunn, because this is a guy who I think has been fairly treated really, really badly. Everyone remembers him for like the 9-0 against Leicester City. I think everyone kind of remembers him for that.
Yeah.
But yesterday, I always had confidence in him coming out for balls, like collecting balls as well. Is he the number one going forward?
Yeah, he's the number one now, and I love the fact that I said I wanted him to prove me wrong, and he went and done it, because I didn't expect him to start. I thought we would have went tried and trusted experience, and we would have went with Xander Clark, but no, we went with a 27-year-old that was never called up previously, and he's excellent. He was excellent. So Angus Gunn, for all the results he's been through that are harsh treatment, he did fantastic both games, and I really did like the fact he changed his approach in both games. Like I really did like that, the fact he was able to mix it up so easily. Yeah, like he is the number one going forward, and I'm quite confident with him for this position for a number of years as well. Like he's got good competition around him as well, so I do like that he will look to stake his place. And if he didn't do it against Cyprus, he done it against Spain.
Yeah, there was one save I think as well. Was it from a header? I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been Ceballos.
That tip over save from close range. Yeah,
that was a fantastic save.
Yeah, one hand above, like pushing over his net. Yeah, it was brilliant save. The fact as well that he got fingertips to as well. Like,
yeah,
it was really good. It was a really good save. I just think his confidence.
And the thing is as well, like Spain had all the possession, but we limited them to like very team efforts on goal. It was the same against Cyprus as well.
It felt like, I don't even know what, like, the crazy thing is that the one thing I hate, and I think this is going to be the whole way through, is it doesn't matter who we seem to play when it's big. If it's a big opposition, if we get a result, it's always going to be labelled as a fluke. Like the minute The minute we beat Spain, it was labelled a fluke. It was labelled a fluke by Sky Sports. It was labelled a fluke by TalkSport, although, to be fair, nobody gives a fuck about TalkSport. It was labelled a fluke by beIN Sports. Like, any major sports organisation you can think of, it was labelled a fluke. So how is it a fluke when Morocco beat them on penalties, but we beat them 2-0 and also as well, here's another fact as well. Spain have played 38 qualifying games since the World Cup 2006 campaign. They've only lost 3 times. Sweden.
Yep.
Slovakia.
And they're us.
Now Scotland. But apparently we were a fluke. Explain how that was a fluke. It's
a lazy narrative about basically.
There's no respect on that.
I don't think they noticed that Scotland are unbeaten in 19 games at home.
Exactly.
Like, it was just nobody's wanting to come and face us at Hampden. Let me just say that. But
true.
Honestly, confidence is definitely sky high. I will just go into the chat just very, very quickly. Congrats on your win over Spain. Does Scott Mctominay now give better options to any starting lineup, club and country?
Country, yes. Club, he will offer rotation, but immediately starting, I still think there's better in our starting lineup at Man United. But country-wise, it's not detriment to any other player in the team. But yes. But also, bear as well, he plays in the position he wants to play for Scotland. We don't necessarily play it at United unless we completely change our system around. Unless we tell him no more defending, which, to be fair, yeah.
Hella, good evening. A great watch last night. Very well deserved one for your lads. Absolutely. The 80s Scotland, Douglas, Soon, Strack, and Hansen, etc. must be up there. 100%. Hello, Henry. Hope you're good. Everyone is saying, well done. Beat them Spanish to pulp. They're not the side they used to be. No, 100% they're not. 100% they're not. Hi, Annette. Hello. Nice to see you. Nate, evening, Douglas, Reece. Everyone, congrats on the W. Thank you very, very much. Yeah. Well, we have kind of sort of spoken about the Spain game. Who was your man of the match last night? Was it Scott Mctominay?
He was actually. The only other that I actually had considered,
I'd have to say Tierney.
I was thinking Tierney. I also was thinking Ryan Porteous. I was very impressed with Ryan Porteous on the right-hand side the whole way through. Clearances, progression of the ball, coming forward, positional sense. It was mostly that. I also think as well, when you look at it, I also think as well, just for under the radar work, I thought Callum McGregor was superb. McGregor was superb in midfield. The one shock though, the whole thing though, is that the 2 games didn't see Billy Gilmore once, and he was a player that we really wanted to see play.
Yeah,
he didn't appear, which shocked me, but that says a lot about our team. But 100%, like, I would have to say McTominay outstanding nominated for player of the match, 100%. But the likes of Tierney, Porteous, Robertson as well. I thought Robertson played very well. Hickey, I know he's been mentioned in the live chat. Hickey was fantastic as well. Like, I don't want to actually, you know what? For the first time in a Scotland game, I am not going to give a player the match to anybody. I'm just going to give it to the whole damn team. Because, like, the old adage of men against boys, you would think on this game, like, we would be the boys and it would be the Spanish would be the men. We played them like boys. We made them look like Sunday League team. When you watch that Scotland game back, and by no means are any player in that Scotland team world class. No one in that Scotland team is world class. In terms of who you could put on that bracket, because of consistency over the past 5 years, you would probably only say Andy Robertson or maybe Kieran Tierney. The rest of them are generally very good players. every single one of them were made to look world class by Spain. Like, that's generally how bad they are. They made our team look world class. That it is generally funny that we were made to look world class against a team that's ranked 10th in world football, who have won 3 trophies in the last decade alone. Like, the last decade and a half, to be fair. But yeah, McTominay deserves it, but it was an overall team effort. Completely bullied them. Like, Spain didn't stand a chance against us. I think a lot of people need to show us respect just because we're Scotland.
We're not that side that look like minnows in like the early
we aren't
noughties
going to get
now.
steamrolled.
No.
We aren't going to get steamrolled by anybody unless it's a freak result. Like, it's just like the Hungarians as well. Like, in the Nations League, the best team in the Nations League is Hungary. You got to really be careful about certain teams that you disrespect, and we are one of them. We are a very good side. We're not an amazing side. I said that on the preview for the Cyprus game. We're not an amazing side, but we are a damn good side. And if you really want to beat us, you actually have to show up.
Yeah.
It says it all that the last team that generally showed up against us was Ukraine, and that was that World Cup qualifier where they got past us and then they got ridiculously embarrassed by the Welsh.
Yeah. 100%. Henry says they haven't been the same since they won the Euros in Spanish, in my opinion. Yeah, absolutely. Give Scott a chance to attack for United. He's made more clinical than Veghorst. I thought all your players put in a shift last night right from the whistle. Yeah. Hell, I only got some of that in reply about not going to the Euros or some of the Norwegians still rusty. God, Roger cried. Love that. He tried to take Odegaard out when we played the bastard. Yes, absolutely. Yes, we need to finish our chances. We should have been 3 up at half time yesterday. It'll cost us. Yeah. Obviously, we've kind of sort of spoken over sort of Cyprus and. Well, actually, the funniest moment of the Cyprus game was probably that left back getting sent off for kicking the ball away. Unbelievable. Like, honestly, when we saw him like kick the ball away, like to like get on the stanchion, I thought, right, okay, he's kicked the ball away, but then the referee like goes to his top pocket and well, hang on, something's happening here. And I said to my friend who was like sitting right beside me, I said, that number 4's been booked and he's just kicked the ball away. Yep. And I kid you not, the next time he's gone.
Yeah, he was gone. Gone.
I have to say, again, another game where we absolutely controlled, we kind of controlled possession against that Cyprus side. And again, the bloody play acting from some of their players as well. Cyprus is that number 20 especially. I thought he was going to get sent off.
I thought as well.
Bluebird Legend is. I was at that game recently. Imagine Wales and Scotland and Germany. Oh, that'd be amazing. I would love the Scots to qualify for the Euros. So we'll speak about before we do go. Is that the games are in June? Georgia at home and Norway away. How are you feeling now, knowing that we've got 6 points from 2 games, which is the main thing? Still 6 games to go, but we're in a commanding position now to get there, aren't we?
Yeah, we are, but I don't want to get too. I still don't want to get too carried away because we've been in that sort of position before, and then Kazakhstan happened. So
that's true.
I don't want to get into that, but the fact that we've played 2 games out of 5 teams in our group, so 10 games.
8 games, I think. Yeah.
8 games. Well, 24 points to get. Overall, if we were to win every game, 24 points wouldn't be too bad. We're still on track. I thought we would get 2 points out of Spain. I said that we would draw both games. The fact that we've already beaten them already is massive. We've already taken the points off Cyprus at home, which everybody knew Scotland were going to beat Cyprus anyway. I mean, it was no disrespect to Cyprus, but what were they going to feasibly do against us at home? nothing.
Yeah.
Georgia have a phenomenal player in Kavica Kvaratskhelia. They're a well-organised side. I think we might still slip up against them. I still think we could draw. Like, it could happen, but again, the game that follows is Norway, and I think the game against Norway will really determine if we are going through or not. I think if we come through those games with, say, a win and a draw, we get 4 points potentially.
10 points.
That's exactly 10 points over half the games played already. I think we would only need maybe another 4 points guaranteed seal qualification. I think we can get through this group on 14 points alone. I think 14 points is enough. I don't think we're winning the group still. I still think it's going to be Spain. I still think Spain will now decide to act like themselves, and then they'll go and steamroll the entire group. But the fact that we've scored 5 goals, conceded none, 6 points from an available 6 already, we have got a good chance. It'd be great to get to the Euros like the way we are, but I'm not gonna get overly like carried away. I'm also looking in the chat and saying like Haaland would rip Scotland a new one. I don't think so. If we stop Odegaard, Haaland's done.
Yeah.
Like Haaland cannot create for himself. So if we stop I actually think that'll be the plan when we get to Norway in June. We won't even acknowledge Haaland. It's not that we don't respect him. We just ain't gonna look at him. It'll be where's Odegaard? We'll just look for Odegaard. Who is their best player in my opinion? Odegaard is Norway's best player. Haaland is by far their best finisher. We just need to keep Odegaard at the game. And what's Haaland got? He's got nothing. Like, without service, he's in trouble. And I think that's what our game plan will be come June.
Yeah. Very, 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 very limited.
I think they're a good team, though, in Norway. I did say that they're one team that I still think could trip us up.
Yeah. Hella says, can't wait for the Tartans in Oslo. Hopefully the big club Haaland will be fit.
I want to beat them at their best. I want to beat them at their best, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh, hell, it has mild. Haaland ripped Scott the new one. I'm not so sure, to be honest. How long did you say? Bergby? 2 years, lovely part of Norway. Yeah, and look, that Georgia game, like, I think they're definitely an up-and-coming side. I think yesterday, that result that they got a draw against Norway was very good for us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I thought Georgia were the better team.
Yeah.
Odegaard's miss is incredible, I've got to say.
Yeah, that really caught me by surprise. Like, that shocked me, that miss. Like, if he can miss that, then that motivation is really going to kick him up a gear. Like, that is really going to kick him up a gear.
Yeah.
So I completely agree with you.
It's I mean, it's a very, very good start. I'm not, as you say, not getting carried away because we know that Scotland make it hard for themselves. But to beat a very poor Cyprus side, and let's be honest, not the strongest Spanish side, but, you know, who cares? It's still a very, very good win. We're in a very, very good position. 6 points from 2 games is very, very good. I think if you had asked a lot of people, I think they would have probably said 3 points at least, and I think they probably maybe expect a draw or a defeat against Spain. And
yeah,
I think 6 points is an absolute bonus, but you cannot say that Scotland didn't deserve these 2 wins because we did.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. We did deserve. We were the best. We were the best team in both games. Hardest working in both games. If you want to beat us, you got to outwork us.
Yeah.
Not very many teams actually outwork us. You got there'll be some teams that'll just beat us by superior quality, but teams of like similar level to us or just slightly a bit better, you've got to outwork us. I actually don't think Spain are better than us in this entire group. I just expect Spain to win the group because they've got better quality players. Like that's the only difference between us winning the group and Spain winning the group or Norway is the difference in quality from back to front. The Spanish have got the better team, but when you watch them play, you put them up against a team that is well organised and works hard. Spain don't know how to beat teams like that anymore. They don't beat hard-working teams, and that's where they really struggle. It's why they couldn't beat Japan. It's why they couldn't beat Morocco. So, in hindsight, they'll struggle against us when we go over to Spain as well. Like they'll struggle to beat us when we go over to their ground.
And as well, the fact that they've got Kepa in as a number one as well makes me think. Honestly, like I've never seen a goalkeeper. Like, can I be wrong, chat? I've never seen a goalkeeper look so scared coming for balls coming into his box. Every time we noticed that McGinn, I think, hit the bar from a free kick that was going straight into the top of the net, and Ryan
Christie had him shitting himself in that 11th minute strike that went narrowly wide.
Yeah,
he looked relieved it went wide.
But honestly, I think when I look at the two keepers last night that we had Angus Gunn, we had Kepa. I was more confident in Angus Gunn. Yes, I know Kepa is playing well for Chelsea. I can get that, and I know that Chelsea are on a bit of a good run. But every time I see Kepa, I always think he's got a mistake in him. And we all know that he's not the best from long shots. So I was screaming for someone to take a long shot because every time he has a long shot, he usually concedes. But I'm not getting carried away. But it's a fantastic start, and we'll obviously wait and see.
I think it's good for us to have that positive feeling and just to be overall enthralled. But like, I think
4.
the fact that
I'm going to go 4.
Yeah, I think 4 as well. We'll see where we get the points and all that, but
the West Coast is the gorgeous part of the country. Hell, I love the pubs and restaurants. They're great food and drink. You absolutely deserve to be very happy with Scotland in the Euros. We had our 3 days of buzz here in Norway before we played. Sebastian, congrats, thank you. Yeah, congrats to Sweden as well. 4-1 against Azerbaijan, I think it was.
Yeah.
One
thing that's coming to an end, though, we know for a fact one thing that's coming to an end at the end of this group is either Scotland or Norway is going to a tournament. Well, we know we've been there, but in terms of consecutive tournaments, we haven't done consecutive tournaments in years, and I can't remember the last time Norway actually qualified for anything. So
that's true.
That one of those records is coming to an end.
Yeah, absolutely.
Back-to-back Euros for Scotland for the first major tournament in years.
100%. Guys, it's been a very, very good show. Thank you very much to everyone who's tuned in, and thank you, Reece, for joining me. But now we can basically look ahead of club football, and I will be back tomorrow at 8 o'clock with Mr. Owen Thomas, the David Attenborough of podcasting. I do like to say that. I'll be back with him tomorrow at 8 o'clock for the Prem Prediction Show. Week 28, 10 game weeks left, but 16 games to predict tomorrow. 16. Mental. So, if you're a fantasy football person, then this is when you need a triple captain, in my opinion. So, we shall see.
I would agree on that.
We shall see. But Reece, tell the people where they can find you.
Everything that's relevant is right there.
Absolutely. I was channel surfing tonight, says Henry, and I love it, B. Yeah, absolutely. Guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully by then I'll be a little bit better, but we're smiling. Scotland have 6 points from 2 games. Future is bright. We'll see you in the next one. Good night.